Hey, I'm Mack. Welcome back to my channel. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe and consider joining my Patreon for access to new videos 12 to 24 hours early. So, we're going to be joining back up with Eric Worre's Go Pro. That is not a camera event, okay? Because if you thought that we had already seen the actually culty portions of this event, we're just getting into the swing of it. Just wait until you see what we have in store, because it is just it is so culty. I love it. I love it, but I hate it, if that makes sense. So let's go.
Take your network marketing business to the next level. She's been in the $1 Million Hall of Fame for many years now, and she's going to bring the heat to GoPro 2021. Please give a big round of applause for Miss Emily Vavra.
Okay, I feel like I say this a lot, and I'm probably going to say it more times, but the room is empty. There's no real applause. There's no real laughter. There wouldn't be any real laughter if it wasn't an empty room. If it weren't an empty room. Subjunctive. Don't worry, I caught it. Yeah. It is an empty fucking room with a bunch of people in their dark living rooms on Zoom. You know, I mean, props to them for doing it virtually, but do you need to add canned audience sounds? I guess you do, because you don't have any real information to present. Also, I'm so sorry because it's not even relevant this time, but what 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 is this? It's just, it's so weird. It's so enormous. What the fuck?
How many of you are feeling inspired right now? Sherry, are you feeling inspired? Darla, are you feeling inspired? That's beautiful. But I have to tell you that being inspired is far different from being transformed. And if you're up for being transformed, I want you to look at me right now, and I can see every single one of you. And I want you to raise your hand if you're up for being transformed.
It looks like you're transforming into a Muppet.
This talk today is all about the point of no return. You see, we've all had times in our life where it is the point of no return. And there's a split moment where you can make a decision that could change your whole life. And getting excited about network marketing is one thing. Signing up for your products and company is one thing. But going all in is a whole different thing.
Is she really not gonna talk about the garment that she's wearing? Like, what? I'm sorry. I've I've never seen anything that looked like that, except like on Sesame Street. I'm not trying to like be a bully. It's just what is that? Like, I don't, I'm sorry. It looks so ridiculous. I don't understand it. And I feel like I say this a lot as well. Let's remember, this is analogous to like a meeting or a conference for work, you know? That's what this is analogous to. So let's remember this is like a work event and this is happening, okay? This very lots of long dramatic pauses and emotional speaking. Okay. Woo.
You see, I grew up functionally different than my siblings. Youngest of 3, we were raised by a single mom. For the longest time growing up, I felt like there's gotta be something wrong with me. I'm not as smart as my sister. We're 13 months apart. And I remember it vividly when my mom said, "Hey, you're just too close in age. We want to keep you 2 school years apart." And the more I learned, I'm like, oh, it's because I'm not smart enough, right? We all have those deficiencies that we think about us, whether it's education, whether it's the way you look, the way you sound, your beliefs. But those are all just beliefs. At any given time in your life, you can decide to play full out. And that's what I had to do at a young age. I had to show up bigger than other people. I had to show up with more presence. I had to learn how to have more energy. Because otherwise I wasn't seen. Otherwise I was falling behind in school. I could hardly keep up in math class. And what I realized through growing up is I learned a whole heck of a lot by not being the smartest girl in school. Because I learned how to play full out. I learned how to get up at 5 a.m. when I wanted to be on the volleyball team and I wanted to play varsity. I had to work harder. You see, there was a point of no return that got instilled in me as a young girl. And I wonder this about you.
Whoa. I feel like this had like all the elements of a story, but I feel like I didn't get quite I don't understand. Like, was she just saying that like she wasn't like number 1 in her class, or is she saying like she wasn't like she was just kind of behind or whatever, like school wasn't really her thing, or is she saying like did she have like a learning disability, or because like I feel like it could be either one. Like I don't know what not that like I'm saying I have a right to know. I'm saying that like I don't understand your story. Like it's not really a very remarkable story when you're telling it this way, because it sounds like you're just talking about basically being average, which is most people. So I don't understand why this is such a big tearjerker here. I feel like a bunch of things have been left out. It feels like I walked into the movie like 3/4 of the way in and I'm just like, I don't understand the importance of any of this.
I wonder this about you, Nicole. I wonder this about you, Shannon. How many times in your life have you been at that point of no return?
Are we still talking about volleyball?
But what happens is we retreat back. We constantly
I thought it was the point of no return.
retreat back when the transformation is actually when we step through. You see, when I started in network marketing, I said yes. Of course I said yes. Who wouldn't say yes to this profession? But I didn't really decide to lead until my second year in.
Okay. Any industry that allows you to lead by your second year, I would run. That's not enough experience or enough knowledge or enough of a track record to be considered for leadership. I want to see a little bit more, of you handling things when things get really tough or when things are going really poorly. I want to see some varied situations that you can respond to, and all of those situations aren't going to happen in 1 year. That's not really enough time. So there's a red flag right there on network marketing. The fact that, number one, she started leading in her second year, and number two, that she's kind of making it sound like that's a long time. Like, no. 1 year, you're still kind of new at the job.
You see, I was trying as hard as I could at network marketing, I thought. I was doing everything. I was showing up to the calls. I was showing up to the events. But I relied so much on the mentors above me. Sometimes when you're surrounded by great people, you start to think you're great, right? Like you
Dave Hollis.
Some of you are surrounded by really great people. But once they leave, are you still great?
Probably not.
Think about that. And something happened for me. You see, I was in a
But did it happen through you?
pivotal moment of, do I keep going forward with network marketing or do I stop? Because I could hardly pay my bills, and I moved into a studio apartment, and it was so gross. My clothes smelled like my food, okay? It was just like...
Well, sweetheart, that's because you didn't... Are you not washing your clothes, or... A lot of people I live in a studio apartment. Well, this is kind of a super studio. It's got a bedroom, sort of. If you're making less than like $5,000 a month in most major cities, you really can't, and you're single, you really cannot afford a lot more than a studio. Maybe a 1-bedroom in most places, but you kind of need to be in most major metropolitan areas. I mean, that's just the reality. I don't know why your clothes would smell like your food. It sounds like you're not washing your clothes.
Nasty. If anybody's ever lived in a studio apartment, you know what I mean.
I'm in a studio apartment right now, and it's pretty nice. I don't know what you're talking about. This lady does not seem like she has a lot of life experience. Just because it's a studio just means that it doesn't have what would be defined as a bedroom. Like, I don't know. This is like 700 square feet.
And I needed a new car. At the time I lived in Minnesota. And it was just a struggle, man. I was struggling to get up.
It sounds like you had the option to buy a car and you had an apartment to live in. Even if it was a studio apartment. Like, hello, welcome to the real estate market. So let's dial it back on I was struggling. Okay. It sounds like your needs were being met. So maybe, it was tight, but let's not go overboard here. Plus, most of your money is going to this network marketing crap.
I was struggling to do my calls. I struggled so much, I got another job, and I wanted to give up.
The horror, another job. You are not dedicated enough to the cult. Because Because just like they said, you're not going to make money in your first year or your second year, but like, then down the line, your reward will come. But like, just keep buying. Okay. Just keep buying, and soon enough, you'll have your carrot. Okay. I feel like this story is going by at light speed, but I also don't feel like we're missing anything. I feel like she just doesn't have an interesting story to tell, but she's telling it anyway, but she knows it's boring, so she's going through it really fast. But don't worry, it's gonna get more and more energetic and unique. Not unique, the MLM, unique with UNIQUE.
I wanted to give up, and I struggled so much with eating. I had food issues, and it was just the demons were coming in, man. And I remember vividly, it was snowing and it was freaking freezing in Minnesota.
Well, you live in Minnesota. I mean, hey, what do you want? That's like the least of your problems right now. Okay. Also, you kind of blindsided me with the eating thing. I don't know if this was like a disorder or, it's like, if you're gonna tell it, like, you need to, I don't know. I mean, you can tell it however you want, but it's not landing with me.
Thank God I don't live there anymore. But I had this moment of, what am I going to do with myself? Who am I going to become? Because I'm running. And some of you are running. You're running from who God created you to be. You're running from the person that you really love. You're running from your destiny. You're running. And I was running. I wanted to run away. But instead, I decided to move my feet and to take that step forward. And when I did that, it changed everything for me. I started to transform.
What? Like, what the fuck? Like, did that not escalate so fast? You're in a cult, okay? It's so hard to take you seriously with that top. And all of your story, I don't understand what you mean by it, because it seems like you're leaving out all of the details. Like, what if you're running and then you took a step forward, like, okay, you mean like a running step or like a different step? What is the step? How did you transform? Did you turn into a robot? Did you turn into a robot in disguise? Is it your Muppet disguise? I'm so sorry for making fun of it, but it's all bouncy and it's so weird. It's so weird. Like, all of a sudden you're screaming and crying, and I don't understand.
From the inside out. And that is what you're all called to do.
What are you talking about? To do what? It sounds like it's important.
You know, it's so funny. The other day I was on a call with a friend of mine in LA. And she said, I'm so motivated. I want to change my life. I'm like, that's great, honey. That's so great. What are your goals? She said, I want to do this charity, and I want to create this business, and all these goals. I'm like, that's amazing. You want to change the world. You and every single other beauty queen out there. That's awesome. How are you going to do that? I asked her, how are you going to do that? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And I kind of chuckled. This is what I call hard love. And I said, I don't believe you're ever going to do anything, if I'm going to be honest. Because if you cannot change the square footage around your feet, you are certainly not going to change the world. If you cannot.
All right. Okay. Dial it back. You're in a fucking network marketing company, so you're not changing the world either, other than for the worse. And you're kind of being an asshole to your friend. Like, it's not helpful if this conversation even took place. Okay. That's not helpful. That's like, why would I want you to come back at me with like, well, I don't think you're going to do it. Like, okay, that's rude. You could just like be like, well, how would that start or something like that? Be like, what would the first thing be? Like, maybe have a conversation with me like I'm your friend, instead of just like giving me hard love, because, okay, if I want hard love, I have Grindr for that.
Change one person's life, you are certainly not going to make a dent in the universe.
Okay, none of us are going to make a dent in the universe. Let's just get one thing crystal clear. Like, come on. I'm all for optimism, but like, really? The universe has not even noticed us yet.
You see, you change lives and you change your life 1 square foot at a time, 1 step at a time. That is how you change the world.
How? What? I don't... What? Okay, so you're in your studio apartment smelling your food clothes. It's snowing, it's cold, and then... Like, I feel like you keep starting stories, not finishing them, and then acting like you've just told like the most powerful thing ever. And I feel like people are getting into it, which is creepy.
So many people want more. You're here today because you want more. I know that about you. You are already my people. However, you've got to look at your life right now and all the things you're focused on and all the areas of where your time is going to. And every single time my life gets crazy, and every single year I've grown, okay, I go back to what's called essentialism. You see, when I talk to people and when I'm out there in life, I find that so many people are doing 1,000 things, getting nowhere fast. Okay, they say yes to this commitment and yes to this commitment, and they're spinning. And you heard Eric talk about greatness and what it really takes. And there's this story out there saying you can do it all, you can have everything. And I think that's just complete BS. If you want to be great, you've got to choose. You've got to choose where you put your time. So I love this diagram you can see up on the slide, because the non-essentialist is yes, 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 yes. You know who you are, Veronica. Yes, yes, yes.
Dang, Veronica, like she is calling you out. Are you going to take that? I guess you'll have to, because you can't type fast enough, can you? Oof. This is a dumb diagram. It looks like a sperm and a virus, I guess. I think everything just looks like viruses to us now. I feel like we're actually going into more of like a generalist economy. So, but you know, that makes sense that they would be unaware of that trend.
Yes, 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 Fran. But the person who...
Not real applause, not real laughter. Just what the fuck? I feel as though I don't even know how to express how strange this talk is. It's all over the place, but at the same time, it's like nowhere. And she's saying all the words with the cadence of a story and an emotional pitch or whatever, which is appropriate for like a church service, maybe, or if it's a real amped up church service. But I don't know if it's appropriate for a business meeting or a business training event. And yet, even though it has the cadence of that, the words don't make any sense. Like it's like she's just going along with it. It sounds like it's a good story, right? But it's not. Oh boy. Oof.
Who knows what is essential? Who knows what they're focused on? They say yes to a few things that matter. Your family, what you're focused on, what's going to build your dreams. And when I knew, hey, I want to make $1 million a year, I was like, okay, a millionaire is worth $500 an hour. So is this activity equivalent to $500 an hour?
Network marketing is not worth $500 an hour. There's not a lot of activities you can just do that are worth $500 an hour. It's so ridiculous. Like what happened? Like you're like, oh, I was like this, and then this happened, and then I just transformed. What? Like you were a car and then you became a robot? Like what? Can you tell us a little bit about how that occurred? Or was it just like, yep, and then I decided to make $1 million. Before that, I was like, no, I'd never heard of $1 million. I was like, what is that? Is it a number, or is it a flavor of dollar? What is it? Oh, 1 million of them. Oh, I would like that. I think I would like that. I didn't know I would like that before, but now I know.
Yes, I changed the way I made decisions. And this is a few different ways that you can change ways you make decisions as well. Is you can say to yourself, is this supporting where I'm trying to go? Is this supporting my dream?
Okay, someone's really got some family issues here, clearly. See, but she is in this room, okay? Her family, we're supposed to assume, could not afford this room, I guess, or does not have access to it. Therefore, she's better than them.
Dreams. Does this make sense to where I'm trying to go? And that's how I decide what's a yes and what's a no. It's essential that you figure this out, because after these next 3 days, you are going to be alive, fully charged, ready to go. But then moments later, you could be stumbling on everybody else's agenda, and you say yes to all these things, and they're not going to help you fulfill your dreams. They just won't. So what do you need to leave behind? What do you need to leave behind today to let the old you die and the new you be born?
Is there like a comet involved here? Because I don't really want to ride on a comet. Okay, like I'm all set.
You know, sometimes we just say, God, give me my dreams, please.
I've literally never said that in my life.
Please. I mean, have you ever been praying at night? Like, can you just do something?
No.
You cut me some slack here? And you're just waiting. You're waiting. When it says in a really good book that you must move your feet. I will give you more when you move your feet. What are you waiting?
Are we literally talking about moving our... I'm so confused. What are you talking about? Can you just say what you mean?
Waiting for? No one is coming to save you. And guess what? If all your dreams came true right now, in your current state of mind, your current body, you would F it up in 5 seconds.
What the fuck? What? What is going on?
Because you have to change. God will...
Change what? My current body? My body's fine. What? What the fuck is going on?
Only change you if you change you. And the way...
Can we hear that again?
F it up in 5 seconds. Because you have to change. God will only change you if you change you.
God will only change you if you change you. But if I'm already changing myself, then I don't really need him to change me. So, ergo.
And the way we change is through action, my friends. That is how we change.
Such as?
So what must you leave behind? Is it your upline? Do you rely way too much on your upline? Are you just like banking on them for every call? You're waiting for them to motivate you? Let me jump on the team call so they can motivate me. That ain't gonna last long, I tell you that. What must you leave behind? Is it a boyfriend? Do you have a loser boyfriend? And you really need a man friend who can then become a husband? Do you need to leave behind your friends, your drinking buddies?
All right, so if you want to do well in network marketing, you need to break up with your significant other. You need to abandon your friends. I'm good. I'll hang out with the other Muppets.
For real. Have you ever noticed when you stop drinking, they no longer call you? Have you ever noticed that?
No, but I have friends that I actually like, so.
You see, because they're only comfortable with you when they're intoxicated and you can all be losers together.
So those aren't your friends.
I know this is hard. I know it is. But what must you leave behind? Settling for a mediocre life that you complain about every single day so you can live a great life? Only you can answer that. So what must you leave behind, and then what must you do? That's my question for you. Some of you are willing to share what you must leave behind. I gotta tell you, when you get the courage to leave stuff behind that no longer serves you, that doesn't really fulfill your soul, and you're using it to numb yourself out, that's when you move forward. And you start to realize, I was given all of these amazing gifts from my Creator. I feel so much better when I'm surrounded by people that are like-minded. I feel so much better when I really focus on what's essential to me. And I'm moving forward to the things that matter most to me and not far away. And when this happens, let me tell you, people will look at you and they will say, "Who is Brenda? Oh yeah, I once knew her. She's changed a lot. Who is Sandy? She's really changed." People look at me and they say, "Who is Emily? Who does she think she is?" And I say, "I know exactly who I am." And I like to joke that the black sheep of the family eventually becomes the goat. I like to joke about that. Because it doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter how smart you are. None of that matters. What matters is that you say yes and you cross the line. The point of no return. And if you trust me, if you are open, I want to walk you through something that changed my life. If you'll stand up right now. This is what I like to call a defining moment.
What the fuck? Okay, this is supposed to be like a training event. What the ever-loving fuck? This would make me uncomfortable as a church service. What the hell? I don't understand. You have to change so that people are like, I don't know them anymore because of your MLM, okay? Because you joined a pyramid scheme, it's going to be great because people are going to be like, wow, you've really changed. What? What? What the fuck? Oh my God, and the music, really? Really?
In my life and in your life. This is for you. This is not for me.
What is? What? Is this an altar call? Am I supposed to come down and accept Jesus Christ into my heart?
I want you to close your eyes. And I'm taking
Ma'am, are you dead?
you into a dark room. We are in a dark room, my friends. It is pitch black, and it is only you. Now I want you to look over your left shoulder. And a spotlight is shining down. And I want you to keep your eyes closed. And when you see that spotlight shine down, you see those that love you. You see your children. You see them look you in the eyes. They're looking up at you and they're saying, Mommy, Daddy, go, do it. You see your loved ones, you see your family. And they say, why don't you move? Why don't you move forward? I believe in you. The spotlight turns off. You look to your right, and there's now a new spotlight. And it's shining down on your business partners. It's shining down on a man who's praying at his bedside for a solution. He's praying, and he's saying, help me, help me. God, send me an angel, send me an angel. The spotlight goes away. You look behind you and you see everything you hate. You see your dead-end relationships. You see the living room you'd wanted to redo for 10 years. You see the getting up early. You see the job you can't stand. You see the limiting beliefs. You see the addiction that you're trying to beat.
Whoa, what? What does that have to do with MLMs? What the fuck?
You see everything that you cannot stand, your old life. The spotlight goes away. Look forward. You see out in the distance, there's a light shining down. It's far away, but you can see it. Close your eyes, you can see it. What do you feel? You see it, and you see your dream life. You see money coming in. Money's not an issue. How do you feel? You see your kids so proud of you. They're so proud of you. They say, that's my dad. That's my mom. They help people. How does that make you feel? You see yourself living by design. You feel bold. You feel courageous. You feel confident. You don't live limit yourself. There's no limits. How does that make you feel? But the light starts going away. It's going away. And you suddenly feel a rubber band around your waist. You feel a rubber band and it's pulling you back. It's pulling you backwards. And you're like, no, what's going on? It's trying to pull you to your past. It's trying to pull you back to this old identity. And you feel it and you don't want to go there. You don't want to stay where you are. You want to move forward. So what you must do is break the rubber band. You've got to break it. And this is a moment. This is your moment. You have to break the band. So feel the rubber band. You feel it. Feel it on your body. Feel it on your stomach. And on the count of 3, if you are bold, if you are ready, you got to rip that rubber band off. Do it with me. 1. It's going away. You are not retreating. 2. And when I say 3, you step forward. 3, step forward. Step forward. Rip it off. Rip it off. Pull it off. This is your new life. You are not going back. You are not going back. Welcome to your new life. This is your home. This is where you belong. Focus on this. Moving forward, moving your feet forward. This, my friends, is where you belong. People are waiting for you. You are designed for so much more than how you're living. You are called. And it is time for you to live your greatest life. Not my life, not Eric's life, not Marina's life, your life, however you want it. I want you to celebrate with me. I want you to celebrate and dance wherever you are. Grab your kids, grab your cat, grab your dog. This is one of my favorite songs because your life is the greatest show. Your life is the greatest show. Feel it, embrace it. Let's do this together. Right?
What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What did we learn? The rubber, if you gotta feel the rubber band and it's pulling you back into your studio apartment and your shitty relationship, okay? And then you got, I'm sorry, I should have written down which spotlights we had, okay? But they were real good ones, okay? So now you're transformed. So, okay, your life is awesome. So, thanks, Emily. Thank you. I'm so glad. But let's continue here because, they didn't think about the fact that using copyrighted music would mean that Emily here would have to prance around to no music when they uploaded it to YouTube because content ID.
Ready? Who's ready for the greatest show? Let's go. Let's do this together. Please play the song. It's one of my favorite songs. Let's break this. This is everything you've ever need. Okay? This is for you. Let's go. For you.
Isn't it the best? So this is what they're doing for this training conference that you paid $1,000 for this. Like, how does no one see how ridiculous this is right here. Like what the fuck? I'm so glad that they have to dance around to no music, because it's just like, it's so awkward. All these people are paying way too much money for this because they're failing at their network marketing business, because of course they are, because you can't succeed. They're paying over $1,000, some of them, for this. And they're going to be in the exact same place that they were in, $1,000 poorer. They're going to be in the exact same place they were in before this all started. I'm just saying. It's so sad. It's so cringy. It's so culty.
What must you leave behind? Take this with you. Write it down. What is no longer moving in the future with you? This is your moment. You felt what it felt to live in your past, and now it's time for you to move forward. I love you so much. God bless you. Mwah. Thank you.
Emily Vavra, everybody. Well done, well done. All right.
Well, that certainly was very informative, okay? I feel like we have everything that we need to know to be successful, okay? So, if you live in a studio apartment, your clothes are going to smell like your food, and there's nothing you can do about that because that's how studio apartments work, okay? And you don't need your family. And your friends are terrible. Your friends are terrible. You never liked them in the first place, okay? You don't like your friends, okay? So you can just get rid of all of that. And then, if you're successful and you move your feet enough, if you just keep moving your feet, one day you can show your family that you're standing like a douchebag in expensive rooms, okay? While trash talking them on stage, except it's not a real stage, okay? It just looks like a stage. While you scream and cry about MLMs. So I think we all know who the GOAT is, okay? And I'm gonna go with, it's the person who is flouncing around to no music with the strangest story I've ever heard. That is, it's like we heard her entire life, but she only told the most boring parts of it. Is kind of like, I still don't understand any of what she was talking about or why she was talking about it. But, I hope that has motivated you to get to your week, because I'm not going to be there to motivate you every time. Like, you got to keep moving your feet. That's the key to success in business. So keep moving your feet, I guess. Oh, and if you need to change something, like, just transform, okay? You just transform. Like, you just do it, okay? Like, you just transform, okay? God's not going to change you unless you change you. It's good advice. Jesus. I've been Mack. Peace out. Bye!